Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The DTC P0404 indicates an EGR valve circuit range or performance problem. This code is specifically related to the exhaust gas recirculation EGR system, which is crucial for reducing nitrogen oxide emissions and enhancing fuel efficiency. The EGR system recirculates a portion of the exhaust gases back into the intake manifold, thereby lowering combustion temperatures. Problems in this circuit can affect vehicle performance, combustion efficiency, and emission levels. The EGR valve is typically located on the engine, near the intake manifold, and it may have electrical connections that can develop faults. Any issues associated with this DTC will necessitate thorough diagnostics to ensure appropriate performance of the EGR system. The DTC P0404 is associated with the EGR valve, specifically highlighting the EGR valve's internal circuit performance. The EGR valve belongs to the larger emissions control system, which also includes the EGR valve position sensor that monitors valve position and feedback to the engine control module, ECM. Located near the intake manifold, the EGR valve plays a crucial role by recirculating exhaust gases. This function helps in lowering nitrogen oxide emissions by controlling the combustion process. If the EGR valve or its circuit malfunctions, it can lead to incomplete combustion and increased emissions, triggering the DTC P0404 error code. Comprehensive diagnostics are required to understand the exact issue within the EGR system. There are several potential causes behind the DTC P0404. First, the EGR valve itself may be malfunctioning due to wear or carbon buildup, affecting its ability to open or close properly. This can disrupt the recirculation of exhaust gases. Second, wiring issues, such as damaged or corroded connectors, can interrupt power or signal flow in the EGR circuit, leading to performance problems. Third, internal problems within the EGR position sensor can prevent accurate readings, causing error codes. Each of these potential causes can directly impact the overall performance of the EGR system, necessitating precise troubleshooting to identify and rectify the issue. Various symptoms may manifest when DTC P0404 is triggered. The most prominent is the illumination of the check engine light, CEL, which alerts the driver to an existing issue within the vehicle's emissions control system. Poor engine performance is another observable symptom. The vehicle may experience lack of power or rough idling, resulting from disrupted combustion efficiency. Additionally, increased emissions may be a significant consequence, as the malfunctioning EGR system fails to recirculate exhaust gases properly. This can result in failing emissions tests. Therefore, noticing one or more of these symptoms should prompt immediate diagnostic checks. The first step in troubleshooting the DTC P0404 involves verifying the existence of the problem. Begin by turning the vehicle to the on mode without starting the engine, allowing electronic systems to activate. Using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, clear any existing DTCs. After clearing, start the engine and hold the engine speed at 3,000 RPM without load until the radiator fan activates. Then let the engine idle to observe the performance. Conduct the EGR test using the HDS to evaluate the functionality of the EGR system. If the EGR test indicates that the system is functioning properly, this suggests an intermittent problem, and cleaning carbon buildup on the EGR valve might resolve it. Otherwise, follow the next steps. Moving to the second troubleshooting step, turn the vehicle to the off/lock mode. It is crucial to ensure that the vehicle is completely powered down to avoid any electrical damage. Next, disconnect the 5P connector from the EGR valve to isolate the circuit. With the connector disconnected, Measure the resistance between test points 1 and 2. Test point 1 corresponds to number 3 of the EGR valve connector, while test point 2 is number 4. The measurement should yield a resistance of 100 kiloohms or more. If the resistance is within this threshold, it indicates that there may be an internal fault, necessitating replacement of the EGR valve. If resistance is below the threshold, proceed to the next troubleshooting step. In troubleshooting step 3, ensure the vehicle remains in the off lock mode, followed by another disconnection of the EGR valve 5P connector. Measurement of the EGR valve's internal circuit is crucial in diagnosing further complications. Using the previously defined test points, measure the resistance again between test points 1 and 2, where test point 1 refers to number 2 of the EGR valve connector and test point 2 refers to number 4. The resistance should also be above 100 kiloohms. If the reading meets this criterion, this indicates a potentially defective EGR valve, which may warrant replacement. In contrast, if the resistance reading fails to meet that threshold, continue to step 4. The fourth step in the troubleshooting process is focused on the continuity of the PG3 line, a critical wire in the EGR system. Ensure the vehicle is off lock mode and the EGR valve 5P connector remains disconnected. Verify continuity between test point 1, which corresponds to number 1 of the EGR valve connector, and test point 2, which connects to the vehicle's body ground. If continuity exists, this indicates the PG3 wire is functioning correctly, allowing communication between the EGR valve and the engine control module, ECM. Conversely, if there is no continuity, it signals an open circuit in the PG3 wire, necessitating repair to restore functionality. Step 5 requires jumping the service check connector SCS line using the HDS to facilitate diagnostics. After doing so, disconnect the PCM powertrain control module connector, specifically the C51P connector. Subsequently, measure continuity between test point 1, which is number 4 of the PCM connector, and test point 2, connecting back to the vehicle's body ground. Establishing continuity is essential as it validates that the EEGR wire is intact and not shorted. If continuity exists, the EEGR wire is in good condition and testing can proceed to the next step. If continuity is absent, this indicates a short within the EEGR wire, necessitating immediate repair. In the sixth troubleshooting step, confirm the continuity of the EEGR line. Ensure the vehicle is off lock mode, with both the EGR valve 5P connector and the PCM connector C51P disconnected. Measure continuity between test point 1 at number 5 of the EGR valve connector and test point 2 at number 4 of the PCM connector. Establishing continuity at these points indicates that the EEGR wire is functioning properly. If this is confirmed, the EEGR wire circuit can be deemed operational, allowing you to proceed to the final steps. Conversely, failure to establish continuity suggests an open circuit in the EEGR wire, requiring repair work to ensure functional integrity. Step 7 involves checking the EGR port and passages, a vital step in restoring proper EGR operation. Begin by safely removing the EGR valve from its location. Clean the intake manifold's EGR port using throttle plate cleaner to remove any buildup of carbon or other debris that could obstruct flow. Additionally, clean the passages within the EGR valve with throttle plate cleaner. Thorough cleaning may often resolve issues related to blocked passages, leading to performance problems. Once cleaning is complete, reinstall the EGR valve and reconnect any disconnected connectors. Finally, Power the vehicle on and reset the powertrain control module, PCM, using the HDS to ensure the system is recalibrated before conducting the EGR test once again. If the result is okay, the issue may be resolved. In the final troubleshooting step, substitute a known good EGR valve to further analyze the issue. Reconnect the EGR valve 5P connector and turn the vehicle to the on mode again, ensuring all systems are operational. Reset the PCM through the HDS to clear any previous errors before carrying out the PCM idle learn procedure. Following this, conduct the EGR test using the HDS to determine if the EGR valve is functioning optimally. If the result shows the system operating correctly, then replacing the original EGR valve is the appropriate action. However, if problems persist, it may be necessary to check whether the PCM has the latest software or substitute a known good PCM until the system recognizes proper functionality. Final verification following the troubleshooting and potential repairs is a critical process to ensure that the DTC P0404 is resolved. After all repairs have been conducted, it is essential to run a series of test drives under varying conditions to confirm that the EGR system is functioning as intended. Actively monitoring the vehicle's performance can also reveal if the original symptoms have cleared up. One crucial step is to check for any recurrence of the DTC P0404, ensuring that it does not reappear in the vehicle memory. This thorough approach confirms that the repairs performed were effective, and the vehicle is now operating within the expected parameters. Preventive maintenance is essential for minimizing the future occurrence of DTC P0404 and ensuring ongoing vehicle performance. Regular cleaning of the EGR valve and its passages can significantly reduce the buildup of carbon and other deposits, which helps maintain optimal operation. Additionally, regularly monitoring the vehicle diagnostic systems can help catch issues early before they escalate into more significant problems. Using high-quality fuel can also contribute to better combustion efficiency and lower emissions. Implementing these preventive measures can prolong the life of critical components such as the EGR valve, ultimately resulting in better overall vehicle performance. In conclusion, DTC P0404 reflects significant issues with the EGR valve circuit, with potential causes ranging from valve failure to wiring problems. Conducting thorough diagnostics is essential to pinpoint the exact failure point in the EGR system. Key steps involve testing the EGR valve, its position sensors, and associated wiring to ensure everything functions as designed. Regular maintenance, including cleaning the EGR system and monitoring system diagnostics, can prevent the emergence of such DTCs in the future. Addressing EGR system issues promptly is vital for maintaining vehicle efficiency and compliance with emission standards. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.